channel. Thank you so much for being here today and watching today's video. I feel like this is a video that is probably my most requested and also well overdue. I feel like I haven't spoken about this in probably a year now. I haven't really spoken about my hair a lot, and I thought, you know what, it's time. I feel like I'm at a point where I'm happy with the colour of my hair. I feel like it's quite healthy and I'm really loving the products I'm using, and I've been using them for about 7-8 months. So I feel like, because I feel like I found the products that work for me, that I should do a little video and share with you guys. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about the products I use and show you guys a little Beachy wave tutorial, like update the last one I did, because I think it's been a while. And if you guys are interested in what I get done at the hair salon and things like that, I'm going to leave the links to those videos down below, because I took you guys along recently to Headmasters in Brighton, which is the salon I go to, and then Rose and Wild in London, which is the salon I go to there, and they are both amazing salons. They do such amazing colour transformations, and the stylists Alfie and Siobhan are just incredible. So I had such an amazing experience kind of getting my dream colour with them, and I think it's been about 4 weeks now since I saw Siobhan at Rose and Wild, and my colour really lasted, and I feel like the regrowth isn't too much. I always find when I've been to see them, there's not too much of a regrowth. We tend to do scattered highlights or do balayage so that there isn't this chunk of natural colour coming through, which I find really, really great, because it means it's low maintenance for me to do at home, and the products I'm going to share with you guys I find really work at keeping my hair this like silvery. What I've done is slept on my hair and woken up, and this is what it looks like at the moment. So I think it's been about 4 or 5 weeks, and it's just this really nice like silvery blonde, and that is thanks to this range here by Kerastase. They do a purple absolute range, and I'm pretty sure they do ranges for all different hair colours and types, and obviously I'm going to just talk about this one, but if you do have brown hair and things like that, it's definitely worth checking out on their website, because their products are a dream and I'm obsessed. So I've been using these probably for like 8-9 months now. I feel like it came out at the start of the year they brought this range out, but it's honestly been a life changer for me. I've always used purple shampoos, and I found that they've gripped on too much to certain areas of my hair, and I've ended up with like purple streaks and things like that, whereas this range is really moisturising and hydrating for the hair, as well as keeping that like silvery tone to it as well, which is ideal. So what I tend to do is use this shampoo, which is the purple shampoo, once a week in my routine. This just tends to keep a lot of the brassy yellowy tone away from my hair and keep it quite silvery and blonde. And then I use this shampoo here, which is just the normal hydrating shampoo from the range that just works to really hydrating the hair as well. I tend to use these two together, even though this is a shampoo as well. Bearing in mind I wash my hair probably 3 to 4 days, I like to do like one thorough wash with this and then with this afterwards, and I find this keeps my hair quite soft and shiny as well, to keep it quite healthy, which is really important. And then probably like once or twice a week as well, depending on how I'm feeling about my hair. There can be weeks where I'm like, my hair's looking really yellow, I need to use the mask. They have this amazing purple mask here, which basically, I've got to be careful because I'm wearing a white top while I'm showing you, but it's in here, it's like this purple cream, and this works really well at keeping it very, very silver. So I used this last night, and you can see it's very, very silvery. It really picks up the colour of that but doesn't grip onto any areas. So it's really great to use on the hair if you do need a bit of a refresh on your blonde and you feel like it's getting a bit brassy. This is definitely the one to use at least once a week. And I found with this one in particular, unlike other purple shampoos that I've tried in the past and other purple masks I've tried in the past, that it actually makes your hair feel soft after using it, because it has got hydrating qualities to it. It works really, really well at keeping the hair still really healthy and happy at the same time. I know for a fact that there's a lot of salons like Headmasters and like Rose and Wild that do stock the Kerastase products in, and so this is what's used on my hair in the salon. So it kind of feels like I'm going to the hairdressers and having my hair washed at a salon every night, which is great. Next up, the last 2 products within this range. This one here, which is the Intense Fortifying Treatment, which is basically like a hair mask conditioner. This is what I use on the ends of my hair as a conditioner in any wash that I do after using like the shampoo or the purple shampoo or the mask. But after the mask, usually if I've used this on my 1 day a week, I tend to use this on my hair and leave it on for around 2 to 3 minutes while I'm like washing or shaving my legs, that kind of thing. But I find that this just leaves it so soft. And for me, I like my hair to be quite soft, so I tend to use a mask in almost every single one of my hair washes, because I have had my hair bleached and I do curl it often and straighten it and that kind of thing. I feel like it needs that extra bit of like softener and hydration, so I find this really, really great for like hydrating the hair and keeping it very silky soft. So that's also amazing from the range. And then lastly, this is the leave-in heat protecting serum, which I use when I wash my hair. I just run my hands through the ends of my hair, and then if I'm going to blow dry it, I might do a bit more. But usually because I sleep on wet hair, I just use this afterwards with just like a bit in my hands, because I know the next day I'm going to use heat, like when I'm curling or when I'm straightening and that kind of thing. And again, just keeps your hair really, really soft and silky. So that is the Purple Absolute range from Kerastase. They are such an incredible brand. It is honestly like being in the salon. It smells insane. I wish you guys could smell, especially the mask, through the screen, because it smells incredible. Such a nice scent, and leaves your hair feeling really, really soft and silky. So I feel like I've got them to thank for looking after my hair whilst I was traveling, because that's literally what saved my hair after not having it done for 5 months. And just being an amazing range that I'm really loving using, and feel like it makes my hair my dream colour. So yeah, I love it. So I wanted to share with you guys something that's actually only recently, over the last month and a half, entered my life. This is the Kerastase 8-hour Magic Night Serum. So I've actually only used this twice, but I wanted to share it with you guys because the results I've had from it so far have been amazing. This is a serum that you can use on your hair in the evening. You can apply it to dry or damp hair, and you use it as like a hair mask before bed. I usually just put like a little tie-up towel with this all over the ends of my hair, and honestly, in the morning, your hair is the softest thing ever, and it's incredible. And for me, like I've just said, because I've had my hair bleached, having treatments like this that I can use at least once a month and things like that have been really, really great in helping keep my hair very soft. So yeah, it's something very new to my routine and my life, so I will update you guys in a few more videos when I do more chatty ones on how I'm finding it again. But at the moment I'm using it once a month, and I've just found it really nice on my hair, and it's kind of like a little nice pamper evening thing to do, to kind of do that on your hair and then the next day wake up and just have really, really soft hair. So yeah, I love that one. Love it, love, love. Next up is a little Aussie mask that I use. This is a mask that I'll use when I'm on the go. You can get the little ones, but I tend to just have one of these in my little hair drawer, because I find when I need that extra boost in my hair, this is great. The 3-Minute Miracle. I just find it's really soft on the hair, and I also really like the smell. So that's something that I do have in my life alongside this mask here. I just like both of them, so I kind of like interchange every now and then, but they both work really well on my hair. So I wanted to share that one with you guys. And I guess now moving on to how I curl my hair. It's very much similar to the routine that I've shared on my IGTV and on my YouTube probably around a year ago now, but I wanted to share it with you guys again. I feel like maybe I've done it slightly differently, and I'm using different products as like the base products, but I wanted to share it with you guys because I get so many questions on how I do it. So I'm going to include it in this video. There are a few ways that I beachy wave my hair. There's a way that I do it where I curl all my curls all the same direction all the way around, so then it comes in around my face here and away from my face here, which basically creates that very glam soft look, which I find when you brush through it, all the waves go the same direction, and it's like quite like an evening glam hair curl. And then there is the messy beachy wave look that I do, which is one direction and then alternate the whole way around, all the way around until the other side, which I tend to only do on certain occasions when I'm feeling up for it, because for me personally, the curl I'm going to show you guys is the one I prefer. I just feel like it works for me, and I like how it looks after a few days because I don't wash my hair every day. I find that when I brush through it and when I sleep on it, it doesn't tend to move a lot, so this tends to be the one that works for me. I like to curl all the way around to the back this side and then all the way around to the back this side. So I'll show you guys how I do that. But before I start, got to use my heat protector. So on top of the serum I just showed you guys, I use the Tresemme Keratin Smooth Heat Protector Spray. This has Malora oil and 5 benefits, so it like detangles and makes it very silky and soft and things like that. And I've just always found that the Tresemme heat protectors really work for me, and I don't like products that make my hair quite sticky, so I find this is the best one to go for. It was actually $3.99 a couple of years ago, and it's now gone up to like £7. So like maybe it's become quite popular, I don't know though, but that's a really long time, so it's definitely one to try if you're looking for a heat protector that doesn't make your hair sticky or anything like that. But I just brush through the hair, got so many knots, and then I just spray this all around the ends and the underneath, and then I brush through again. Now, regarding my hair curlers, I get so many questions on which ones I use, and I I can't really recommend any because when I first got my haircut, my best friend Pia had some hair curlers lying around in her room and I was like, do you use them? And she was like, no. And I was like, can I have them then, please? And ever since then, I have literally just had her hair curlers. So the last 2 years I've just been using these, but I know for a fact that Markvard do really fab hair curlers that have interchangeable barrels, which means you can get the medium barrel or the small barrel. I'd say this one is near enough to the small barrel. I've got the medium one at my friend's house somewhere, which I left when I was getting ready for a party. But I find that the small barrel works for me in terms of creating that very beachy wave look and then being able to brush through it and making it look quite messy. So I find that this is a really good one to use. I wish I could tell you guys what this is, but all I know is it says yogi on it and that's it. So I'm not sure, but definitely if you are looking for a hair colour, small tongs are really great for doing that beachy wave look. So to start, I section off my hair into 4 sections. And I tend to take the front pieces and tie them up so they're out the way because the back is the hardest bit when you have short hair. So I just tie it up like this, leaving as little as possible at the back because it's easier when you can see all these front bits, and obviously it's harder when you can't see behind your hair. So then once that they're like little buns are done, I then have about that much hair at the back, which I tend to split into 2. So let me see if I can show you guys. So I split it into 2, just going along like this. I'm leaving that bottom bit there and then just pinning this bit with a little hair tie. I probably should get some clips, it would probably make my life easier, but gonna roll with the hair bands. So then I have about this much left at the back. I just find personally when I've sectioned it like this, it's a lot easier for me to know what I'm doing at the back of my hair. And then I just start by grabbing small sections like this and curling away from my face on either side. So the back is where both curls meet in the middle for me, which I'll show you once I've curled them a little bit just so you can get the idea of that. But what I'll do is I'll try to show you a little bit of how I do the back of my hair in like a little time lapse, and then it's probably easier for me to just show you how I do the curl from the front, because be able to see a little bit more easily how I do it and how I use the curlers to create that curl. So what I find is grabbing a section like this, it doesn't matter if they're all the same size, and I put my curlers over to the back and wrap that round. This is one of those situations where I burnt my hand a million times from doing this. Having short hair at the back is very hard, and it took me a while to learn how to curl the back of my hair. So it's something that takes practice, I think. But it just kind of goes like that, a little wave. And I don't brush or touch my hair when it's warm. I leave it until the end, which I'll show you then how I style it when I get to the end. But I just take little sections like that, keep taking them, and then wrap round. With that lower layer, I leave that to cool down and I move on to that little top layer there. Usually the bottom and underneath doesn't really matter too much if they're not perfect, the waves, because they're going to be underneath that like extra layer. So I usually focus more on this little layer here, on making sure the curls are properly done. The problem with my hair is I have a lot of it. It takes me sometimes nearly 12 hours in the hair salon. So I have to section my hair this much because of how much hair I have. So doing the same as I just did, I get little pieces like this and put that over and just kind of gauge where I feel like my parting is into which direction I'll be going in, but it will be my left side away from my face and my right side away from my right side of my face as well, if that makes sense. But this is the hardest bit, doing the back, and I usually get very hot doing this bit because it's a lot of heat at the back of my hair and your arms have to be quite high. But I found that this is the best way of me doing it to get the best curl. I know that some people prefer doing beachy waves with hair straighteners, and I used to do my hair beachy waves with hair straighteners, but I found that when I was doing the back of my hair, because you have to be quite particular with the direction you drag down the hair, I found that my arms wouldn't let me bend that way, meaning I had ended up having quite straight bits at the back of my hair. So I find that using tongs just means that I won't get those long bits hanging out the bottom and things like that, because when you have short hair, if you are a short haired gal or guy, that when you have one straight bit and the rest is curled, you can really tell when you have like a bob. So it's just making sure that every little bit is curled. As you can see, this layer here pings up a little bit more, and then that lower layer is usually a little bit longer at the back, but that tends to work out fine once you get to the end and you brush through all the waves. So once the back is completely curled, I'll see if I can just show you guys quickly. Usually looks a little bit like that, so probably quite messy and a bit all over the place, but at least it's done. Because at the end it's fine when you brush through it, it tends to all kind of work together. So then moving on to the front sections, I tend to do the section with the most hair first. I feel like maybe that's just because I can curl easier from this side, and I tend to go around by just sectioning little parts like this, especially with the underneath near the back. I find that still quite a challenging area to curl. Oh. So I just tie it up as they go around and give it a little brush, but these sections here still can be quite hard to do. But again, just grabbing a little section like this and using the hair curlers to curl away from the face. I always have a little section like that just so I can hold on to, but also so you create that beachy wave look with the straight bottom. I feel like this makes it look a little bit more messy and a little bit more of that beachy wave look when you've finished and you've like brushed through. So it usually ends up looking like that. So I do this all the way around. I just keep sectioning little bits off. It doesn't really matter how much. I think the smaller piece of hair that you do, the tighter the beachy waves and ringlets can be. But with me, because my hair's quite thick and holds curls quite well, I find that usually doing like a medium pieced size amount of hair, if that makes sense, usually works best for me. But when I'm at the hairdressers and having my hair done there, they use quite big sections of my hair to curl, and I love how that looks. I just really struggle with making that look good. So this is how I found works best for me. These are always my most hated bits because I always end up burning my hand. It's just inevitable. I need like little gloves or something. So what I'll do is I'll time lapse this side of the hair for you guys. It takes a while, so I don't want to ramble on for the whole, probably like 20 minutes, but I'll show you guys and hopefully that will give some idea of how I do it, putting them away from my face. So guys, that is one side done. So as I'm letting that side cool down, I use the Tresemme Extra Hold hairspray. I've just got this little can that's lasted me quite a long time, so I'm still using it, but it's the 4 hold, and I find when it's autumn and winter coming up that this is a hairspray that works really well at keeping curls in. I also know, bearing in mind my hair does hold curls quite well, that my friends that have used this, like Amelia in the past, they always really hold in her curls, and many friends that have used it for like nights out and things like that I always last quite a long time. So I think it's a really, really good hairspray if you find that your curls drop quite quickly. My best tip for having curls stay in is letting them cool down before you touch them at all, and hairspraying them while they're cooling down. I find that this works best in keeping that hold. So just do all the way around. And then I leave that while I do side number 2. So that took me about 20 minutes to curl one side. I usually curl my hair twice a week because I only wash it twice a week. For me, 20 minutes or like to an hour doing my hair is usually okay, because when I sleep on it, this tends not to budge quite a lot. It's usually just like touching up on a few curls in the morning at the back and underneath if I need to. But yeah, that took me about 20 minutes to do all of that. There's a lot of hair. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly show you guys how I do the next side. So for this side, same as before, I just grab small sections like this, and from the other side I hold them so the hair curler is behind the strand of hair, and I wrap it away from my face. This is slightly more challenging than the other side, I find. So sometimes it's best to always start with the side you find harder to do, because then it doesn't get confusing when you're switching. It just makes it easier just to start on the harder side usually. But because I've been practicing for probably like 2 years now, I find that it's always fine me doing the side that has the most hair. But yes, it just does that little curl like that, especially for these little underneath bits. They're always really hard. I'm always like trying to work out which bit to do first. So do the back of the strand of hair like that, and then down and wrap away from the face, and then hold for probably like 20 seconds. It depends on the area of the hair. I usually like the front bits of my hair only leave for a few seconds because I don't like them to be too tightly curled, whereas like these back pieces I tend to leave for a little while longer. So what I'll do is I'll carry on and time lapse this side of my hair for you guys, and then hopefully that shows a little bit more when I get to the front of how I hold the hair colours to do this side as well. So that is that side done. That took me about 13. I just have less hair on my right side. Don't know why, I just do. But again, just spraying a bit of hairspray throughout. Coming on to this side here, I then use the John Frieda Frizzy's like hair finishing cream. This is incredible for any flyaways. If you have curly hair naturally, you're straightening your hair, it's amazing. My dad has quite like wavy frizzy hair and he uses this every day, and then I kind of fell in love with it, so I've had to get my own little bottle. But it's just perfect for like any flyaways, and especially when you're curling your hair, I find there can be bits of like static pieces and like flyaways around here. So I always use this before running my hands or a brush through my hair. You only need like a little pea size amount, and I just rub that through my hands and then drag my fingers through my hair, and that just kind of creates that very beachy wave bouncy curl. And then for this side, even though this side's kind of a bit too hot still, so I'm going to leave it for a minute or two. I find the cream really great for any baby hairs or flyaways, especially for me. I've got so many baby hairs around the front of my face, so I tend to just put it on my hand and then run my hand around those areas. And that is the finished look. I like it to be quite bouncy and wavy. If you prefer more of like a loosely dropped beachy wave, then all you need to do is just brush through with your hairbrush and it will just create more of a soft look. But because this is day 1 and I'm having curly hair for 4 days, I tend to just leave it with my hands brush through to create this like bouncy beachy wave that's quite full. But of course this is what works for me, so I feel like this hairstyle looks different on everyone because all our hairs are different and different types and thicknesses and things like that. So yeah, this is just what works for me and what I love. So if you do have any questions about how I curl it or anything else that I haven't answered in this video, then please just send me a DM or leave a little comment and I'm happy to reply to any questions about it all, especially like any salon questions. If you've got any regarding those videos, just please send me a DM. And I think that's it. I think that I've covered everything that's like new hair-wise in my life and what I'm loving right now. And then this is the finished look. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching and supporting me on my space. Thank you guys enough. Lots of love. Mwah. See you in the next one. Bye.